Welcome to the While My Batteries Charge podcast. Join us as we talk about all things radio controlled. And now, your host,
folks, this man, he is the king.
Mr. CCXRC himself, Tony CC.
Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to the While My Batteries Charge podcast. We're going to try and do this live here for the first time and see how it goes. But, yeah, it's going to be new. But I want to give a shout out to the channel members here first and foremost, and make sure we have the ticker going with them on there. So thank you guys for being members of the channel. I just posted a video for you guys about a drawing that's going to be taking place. Here, again, another drawing for the first 10 subscribers that we had. Then we're going to start opening it up to everybody who has become a channel member since then. So, man, I've got a lot I want to talk about and not a ton at the same time, but I just want to spend some time talking about getting back into racing RC monster trucks this weekend and some of the cool stuff with that, because it's going to be with the crew that I ran with in Virginia. They're coming up to run it at the Monster Truck Hall of Fame International Museum thing. It's a long name. I always slaughter it. It's like the International Monster Truck Museum and Hall of Fame, I think is it. Anyway, that's going to be going on. Nobody knows that this live stream is actually going to be happening because I've just decided I've been doing these as recordings, but I thought I would just kind of branch out and start doing it as a live stream for those that want to tune in. But they're kind of infrequent. They're not scheduled, so they're just going to pop up. And you may be one of the people that jump in and get to see it. So I've got a few little things here that I've got on the side screen. That's kind of my notes of what I want to talk about here on the top tabs of this browser. But that's about it. So it's kind of keeping me in. That's as many notes as I've got to get this going. What's going on, Dana? But because this is a podcast too, I probably won't do as many of the shout outs to the chat, whatever. I might read a question from there or take some questions from there to answer. But I probably won't be doing just the regular call out shout outs, because it's probably weird if somebody's just doing this for the podcast version, which is the intent of this in the long run. So I've got my notes set up, and I may jump into a few things as well that I see hit the comments. But first things first, did want to mention that there is the channel membership available. There's not a whole lot of extra stuff for it. There are some videos, behind the scenes stuff. Any kind of big RC video, I'm going to make available to everybody. I'm not trying to change what the channel was. So basically, they're just getting stuff that wasn't available before to people. I'm just kind of creating some behind the scenes stuff because they're wanting to see extra and no extra. And so they're helping support the channel that way. But there are also a few giveaways that we'll be doing from stuff that I get in and do reviews on, and different things that I'll be passing along, or just kind of just some cool stuff that I have that, at some point you have too much, and I feel blessed that I get stuff to do reviews on. But at some point, as it overcrowds and stuff in here, I want to, kind of pass that along. So, couple videos that have just popped was the testing these new gravel stage crawler tires from Luis RC, and I will say they blew me away. I was shocked at how good they were. I wasn't expecting much because it was kind of like a pre-mounted tire that I was thinking would be like I'd put on a trail truck or something, but they actually did really good. So check out that video if you want. It's a long one because we ran it here on rocks that we had, but then also up at Reaction RC, and we really wanted to show how they handle, so we're not cutting it all up, and you get to see kind of everything from those runs. And even Jeff ran them because he knows the track up there and could speak to how they handle in comparison. Also dropped this RC profile on Jessica Dahl. You want to check that out. It's upright. It was shot for reels and stuff like that, but we put it on here as well. But she's really cool and doing awesome stuff. So getting into the things that I want to talk about, One RC Racing. I have had one of these, you can go back to 2021 when I was still in Virginia, and you can see when we bought these ones right here, the little midget cars, and I actually just traded away. I had 2 of them because nobody else had them, and we wanted to race them, so we had to get a couple so we could do some racing, me and my boys. But up at Grand River RC here locally, they are going to be racing them, and it's close by. So when I heard that, I had them get me one of these right here. So this is their asphalt late model, and I just stickered it up. It comes with some stickers you could put on it, numbers and different things like that, but we just kind of used a Cricut to make ours and put them on here, and glued the front right tire. But also I just got while I was there, I picked up the sprint car as well. So they're pretty addictive because they're like 2 something, and you get everything you need to run them, batteries, everything, brushless motor, and they're super cool. So I'm going with the black theme. I think my whole crew of cars that I'll end up getting for them will be the black ones. Probably just keep it black, white, and maybe a little dash of green in there. So, but yeah, we'll see. You never know, but it's going to be one of those things that we are definitely going to be looking into more and more of. The next one that I want to get, I would love to get the truck, and the truck's a conversion kit for the late model that I got, and so I may eventually switch over to the truck, but I'm kind of liking the late model look. The next one I think I'd get is this asphalt modified right here, because they are super fast, planted, and yeah, I thought they looked pretty cool. It's this one here in the middle. But so yeah, getting into that, had the first race that I went to it was their second race, and we went to it on a Wednesday night. They're going to be doing the races, and right now it's on an every other week schedule, and I don't know if that's going to be how it stays. I don't know, excuse me, if they're going to do practice on the weeks between. They're doing a whole lot of things, and there's a lot of, switch over on the tracks because they run mini Z's there. They're wanting to run the like micro B's and stuff like that, micro T's. And so they're going to kind of be switching up, I think, how they do it and what nights so that there's not all this setup, tear down. And so that's kind of what's dictating the schedule a little bit. But, yeah, it was super fun. I got, destroyed, absolutely destroyed. I kept rolling over. I didn't get the glue around the edge of it enough there, so I was still biting and in traction rolling and all that. So it'll take a little bit to get it set up just right, but I had a blast anyway, and was hoping to just stay out of people's way for the time being. And that's probably how it's going to be for a little while for me. But yeah, so we'll be getting these out, and there was a class for the sprint, but the sprint class was really 2 midgets. Me and Slater were running the midgets, and there was 1 sprint car, and he annihilated us. It's got bigger tires. It's a bigger vehicle. It handled the corners better. It was just better in every way. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into racing these. The people that had these super modifieds right here, they didn't even let off because they biased the weight so far on this inside that they handled it full throttle even through the corner. It was really, really fun to watch those go. But I think they're going to be actually going to the larger motor. I think these are 8,700 kV motors on these. I can't see it. It doesn't say. It just says warning hot. Oh, wait, this one. This one says, can't see it in the light though. Yeah, it looks like 8,700 kV. I think they're going to go to the 10,000 kV. So, and that's stuff that they sell on here. I think under electronics you can get it. But they've got a whole lineup of stuff. I'll put links to everything we talk about here in the description later. I'm going to have to add it later because I didn't get it into it ahead of time. Yeah, here's a 10,000 kV brushless, and then the original 8,700 kVs are right here. And then they come with these DIM packs. Oh, there's a 8,700 with a 12T. So that's for 18th midgets. Okay. So that's also probably why we were a little slower. So they're showing which ones these are sold for, the car below them. So, yeah, they're super cool, and they've got a bunch of them out now, as you can see from the lineup here. Dirt Street Stock, Dirt Modified, Midget, Sprint Car. I get lost with all the names of these. Eastern Dirt Modified. I didn't grow up watching this stuff. Late Model, Asphalt Modified, Super Modified. Yeah. I would watch sprint cars and stuff like that, midgets, but I didn't get into really watching all this other stuff. But they have it here, and I need to get to some races because it's pretty sweet. And there's a racetrack 12 minutes from me, I think is how far it is to Berlin Raceway. Maybe. It's not far at all. But yeah, that's the one thing. So, again, they're not that expensive. You can get them here. A-Main also sells them. When I ordered mine, I ordered them from 1RC. But if you went here, you could also get some 1RC stuff. And they have the LiPo batteries you can do. So, yeah, like 229, 209, 209 for the already pre-painted blacks. So, but that's, again, ready to run and start racing. It's pretty rad. It's pretty rad. So certain ones are a little bit more. You'll see this is like the 1.0. This is the 2.0. There's small changes to some of them. Servos, little tiny things. But, yeah, A-Main has them as well. So that'd be a place to check it out if that's where you tend to shop and have an account there or whatever. So, yeah, definitely something that I want to get a little bit more of. In fact, we just put a shelf. You guys can't see it. It's right over on the other side of my computer. I've kind of floated my computer in the middle of the room, which, is interesting to have your desk this way and all the cables off the back. But when I do record music and stuff up here, it's better that way. But so I have now a gap, and so back there I put another shelf, which is nice because I do have room for more shelving because of the move of the desk. And I've got some minis on it. I got the LMT minis on it, and then these because they're just those I don't even like the crate kind of things. I screwed them together a while back, and we just have it at the house, and we're trying to find out what to do with it. So yeah, so that's the first topic. The second topic is also mini related, and that's the LMT Mini Zombie that was announced, also ready to run. It is not brushless, and I don't think that it needs to be brushless. So it's got enough speed, in my opinion, brushed. I've actually got it right here with me. So it's really, really cool. You can see mine's pretty dusty now. But they've got a pretty good-sized brushed motor in there, 25 turn, and that thing is plenty fast, doing backflips and tricks and wheelies, and it's like normally you'd go brushless to get the power to do those things, and this does it in brushed because of the size of it and all that. But sorry, I need to get a drink here. My throat's pretty dry. Got my big gulp, but it's got the flexible zombie hands, got the fabric on it. So it's not for everybody. Some people look at it and say, wow, that's really ugly. I'd never buy that for my kids. Other people think Zombie's awesome. If you're at a Monster Jam event and you watch when Zombie comes out, a ton of people throw up the Zombie arms, waving them in the air. And it's pretty cool when you're watching out there driving around. Typically, my favorite trucks are the ones that are more truck-based and look more like a truck. This one does for the most part, except for the arms and the nose of it. But we all love Bari. He's an awesome dude. He's one of the greats, man. Super, super good person and a great ambassador for RC and for Monster Jam. But it's running the same basic as the rest of the trucks now that have got the little upgrade with the bigger links, and which you can see in this photo here. But Comes fully ready to run, batteries, everything you need in the package, the LiPo, all of it is there. So that's one of the nice things about these. Again, it's quick. It's fun to do tricks with. You can just throw them down in your yard and have fun. They're backflipping fences and just, you can find almost anywhere to run them. Grass, not so much. You can, but it's more of a workout for them, and it doesn't handle as well. You want like cement or dirt or carpet or something like that. But they're pretty cool. I like the platform. Some people were dogging it in all the videos. They don't understand why. Now, and everyone's asking for, so here's where we can get, podcast allows you to get into some of this stuff and just kind of talk and discuss and get a little more in depth about things, which you might not do in a video talking about these, because not everybody's wanting that much information. So here's my thought on it. Everybody wants all the different bodies that there are for Monster Jam. You watch, they see the videos and they're like, where can I get those bodies that you guys all have? In fact, in the video for one of these, I think for this, somebody asked where I got my 30th anniversary Gravedigger body that's back there, which Bari made for me. So Bari was very instrumental in so many of the custom bodies that we run for those different things in the beginning. And a lot of people have jumped in and taken off. But in the beginning, Bari really kind of helped push that forward in giving us all the different custom bodies that we were doing and getting creative with taking different bodies and cutting them and putting them together and making them look like something they weren't intended to be. So what I think is that the mini platform is where we're going to see most of the bodies that they're going to make. So I think the reason for that is it's hard to sell a $750 truck. It just is. And that's what the LMT costs now, $750. So to most Monster Jam fans, that's not going to be just something they're going to just go and drop the money on. However, they might drop $300 to get one that can do the flips and all the cool tricks and whatever. So it's just an easier price point, and especially for somebody to try and collect them all, right? You're not going to collect multiple bodies at $750 for them. If they did anything for the 8th scale ones, I could see them just offering the bodies separately that people could then do. But I don't see them, because they're not in the numbers, not going to sell the $750 trucks. They might sell the bodies at $100 a pop or whatever. I don't know what they'd be. They're not going to be the normal. They did an Avenger style body already for it. But I don't see them branching out as much with these as they will say. See, I could see them doing Monster Mutt with this. They've already done Megalodon. I could see them doing Dragon would be really cool, because that's a really hard one to do. But people are already making them, so that's the thing. People are making them out of flexible 3D stuff and making them printable and all that, or paintable, and it's pretty sweet. So, but I did see a question in here in the comments if they're going to have a mini class at this event that I'm going to this weekend that we're going to be talking about almost next 1 or 2 bits from now. I don't think so. I didn't see it listed. I will list the classes when I get there. But on the flyer for it here, which is going to reload. Go back to here. It reset on me. That was weird. It said it was going to be solid axle monster truck, 4x4 electric monster truck, mega trucks, LMT, short course, retro, 2.2 mini monster trucks, but that's not what you're thinking with mini monster trucks. They had a class for them at their other race, but they were the 24th scale, which were more the FMS style and all that. 18th. I don't think that the LMT minis were part of that. I don't know. We'll have to look into that, but I don't think so based on the rules that were there. And we can probably look at the rules when I jump into some of that stuff. So yeah. And it's at the museum in Butler, Indiana, so that's pretty cool. So But yeah, I foresee this being the platform that they're going to use to really bring out all the different types of bodies that you could want. Sparkle Smash, I figure they'll do one that will be more of a like a female driver truck and stuff like that, and stuff for the girls, because there's a lot of girls that are into Monster Jam, and they've really gotten behind some of the trucks that the other girl drivers are running, and so yeah, we'll see. These zombies aren't going to be available until the 14th, it says, is when they're releasing. So next Thursday is when they're going to release. So I think that's what the date's looking like. Today's the 6th, so tomorrow's the 7th. So yeah, a week from tomorrow, they're going to be available. A Lucas Oil stabilizer would be really awesome, actually. And it's more of a real truck-based thing, semi-truck. That would be a sweet one. Female driver. Lots of wins with that. And they're just, in person, it's one of my favorite trucks just because it makes everything look so massive, the way that the body's tucked around it all, and you see the frame, and it's a good one. I wasn't even thinking about that one. But that would be a really, really good one. So, yeah, it just comes down to what's profitable. And Gravedigger stuff sells the most for just anything when you really look at it. So that's the big market for the bigger ones, I would say. And then what people are going to have to do from that would be custom. I would love something in that has a black chassis. I think Megalodon's probably the next best-selling. But even if they did that in 8th scale, something that would have a black chassis I think would be cool, because that's a lot easier to adapt later on to the other stuff that you might want to make it out of. But people are doing really cool stuff. You can do an 8th scale already, Lucas Oil Stabilizer from Drive RC. They have a body that would be able to be painted to look like that, but yeah, so that was the next big thing that's been happening since the last podcast. This was announced. I don't know if I talked about it in the last one. I did mention the Silver Lake Sand Dunes, but I think it was before I'd gone up there with the Jetstream jet boat, and I waited on this a long time. I really wanted it when it came out. I'd been watching the videos on these little, even smaller jet boats. I can't think of the guys that do it. They do the cool stuff with the little Barbie cars races, and they have that aluminum like single person jet boat that they do all the cool tricks with. And I think they were the ones making the really big wheeled motorcycle. I can't think of the name of the YouTube channel, Instagram channel. But anyway, Shreddy and Mojo in these boats, I watched them as well. I think they're super trick. And when I saw that they had this, in fact, Pablo and I were talking about, there was a company that was coming out with aluminum ones right before this dropped. Grindhard Company Plumbing, or Grindhard Co. But yeah, thank you, Tyler, in the chat for kind of reminding me. And Chris. But yeah. So, yeah, I'd seen them, and I hadn't loved boats. I'll just be quite honest. I have boats. I used to be sponsored by Venom Batteries, and Venom and Atomic were the same company. So I've actually got up there the barbed wire 3, but I had the smaller barbed wire as well. They're fast, and they just dart through the water, and they're cool, but I get kind of bored with it. Kind of quick. Because you just go back and forth and go in circles. They flip over, they dart underwater sometimes. You wait for them to pop up. Wasn't my thing. I got that custom airboat And that swamp rider was sweet. And that kind of made me excited about water stuff again. And in fact, there's one here that somebody just had up at the lake just up the river from me. And it was so loud. They just were here. It must have been this weekend, Sunday afternoon. I got video of it. It was so loud. And they're all sitting there with their, it's not a great one if you want to go out and hang out and have a conversation on a boat. But man, that thing was ripping around. It was so rad. I don't know what they use it for here. There's some pretty swampy areas, I guess. But yeah, if the battery dies, you got to go retrieve the boat. There's just here, and I did have it happen with mine, and it floated down the river because I've got a river. So we had to jump in kayaks and go get it. Actually, I don't think the kayaks were out, so I swam to go get it. And it was supposed to be a self-righting one, but I didn't have the right size battery in it, so it wasn't heavy enough to do the self-righting. That was my fault. But yeah, I had to swim and go get it, and that was cold. But it was pretty cool, and I ended up getting the Alpha Patrol boat when we moved here, just because it was slow and scale and just fun to drive in the little creek here on the side. And I still actually do like that boat a lot. But it's for a different thing. It makes for cool videos. And that's what I feel like this boat is just different. It's wide, it's planted, and I can jump waves with it. And so we've got Lake Michigan here. We've got waves without salt water. And, oh my goodness, I took it up to the Silver Lake Sand Dunes because we were going up there to do other bashing and stuff, and ended up just going to the beach and parking there, which made it so easy to get it out there to the water